Most sellers lose money before they ever go on the market. Not because of the market, not because of buyers, but because they guess wrong on one question. Should I fix this or should I sell it as is? That single decision can cost you thousands if you get it wrong. Today, I'm going to walk you through how to think about repairs before selling, when fixing makes sense, when pricing accordingly is smarter, and how to avoid over-improving your home right before you list it. Let's start with the mistake most sellers make. They assume every repair increases value. It doesn't. Some repairs protect value. Some repairs increase value. Some repairs do absolutely nothing for your final number. And some repairs actually cost you more than they return. The first thing you need to understand is this. Buyers react emotionally first and financially second. If something makes a buyer feel confident, it creates leverage. So the real question is not, should I fix it? The real question is, how will a buyer react to it? Let's break this into three categories. Category 1 is deal breakers. These are issues that scare buyers. Roof leaks, structural concerns, major HVAC problems, active water intrusion, electrical problems that look unsafe. If a buyer walks in and senses risk, they don't think about decorating. They think about danger. These are usually worth fixing before listing because they reduce fear and protect your negotiating power. Category 2 is visible wear and tear. Scuffed paint, outdated light fixtures, worn carpet, dirty grout, loose hardware. These may not be structural, but they influence perception. Small cosmetic improvements often produce a strong return because they affect the first impression. Fresh neutral paint, updated lighting, clean floors, simple hardware swaps. These don't cost a fortune, but they change how the home feels in the first 60 seconds. The category 3 is over-improvement. Full kitchen remodels, luxury bathroom upgrades, expensive custom features. This is where sellers get into trouble. If you spend $50,000 updating a kitchen right before you sell, you're usually upgrading it to your taste, not the buyer's. And the buyers rarely pay dollar for brand new upgrades that they did not choose. Now here's where most sellers get stuck. They don't want to leave money on the table, so they try to fix everything. But here's the truth. You're not preparing your home for inspection, you're preparing it for comparison. Buyers compare homes within a price range. If your home is in similar condition to others at that price point, you don't need to outperform every property on the market. You need to align with your competition. This is where the phrase price accordingly becomes powerful. If your home needs cosmetic updates and you don't want to do them, that's completely fine. But the price must reflect that reality. Buyers will happily take on a project if they feel the price makes sense. What buyers won't do is pay top dollar for a home that needs work. Now here's the key psychological trigger. Buyers mentally overestimate the cost of repairs. If a repair costs $5,000, a buyer may mentally discount the home by $10,000 because of inconvenience and uncertainty. That means sometimes doing a relatively small repair protects a much larger amount of perceived value. If this is helpful so far and you want more no-fluff tips on selling smarter in Richmond, hit subscribe right now. I post new videos every week designed to save sellers time, money, and stress. Now let's talk about inspections. Some sellers say, let the buyer find it and we'll deal with it then. Well, that strategy often reduces leverage. When repairs show up during inspection, buyers feel empowered to negotiate harder. When obvious concerns are handled before listing, buyers feel reassured. Confidence creates stronger offers. But remember, this is not about making your home perfect. It's about removing friction. If something will cause hesitation in the first 60 seconds, it is usually worth addressing. If something is minor and easily explained through pricing, it may not need attention. Now, another mistake sellers make is fixing things that buyers cannot see. Spending thousands behind the walls without addressing visible presentation does not create the same emotional impact. Buyers react to what they experience, not what they can't see. So how do you decide? Ask 3 questions. Will this issue scare buyers? Will this issue reduce showings? Will this issue significantly affect perceived value? If the answer is yes, consider fixing it. If the answer is no, price strategically instead of renovating emotionally. Here's an example. 2 homes, same neighborhood, similar size. One seller spends $20,000 on upgrades that buyers didn't ask for. The other seller refreshes paint, improves lighting, cleans thoroughly, and prices slightly below competing homes. The second home often generates more activity and stronger leverage, because leverage comes from demand, not perfection. Now let's address something important. Fixing before selling is not about pride. Pricing accordingly is not about discounting your home. Both are strategies. The wrong move is doing neither. Ignoring issues and pricing high creates stagnation. Over-renovating without understanding buyer psychology creates wasted expense. Strategic alignment creates momentum. And this is why preparation and pricing must work together. If you fix, you support a stronger price. If you don't fix, you support a realistic price. But you don't mix the two. Now, let me say this clearly. There is nothing wrong with selling a home that needs work. There is something wrong with pretending it doesn't. Buyers appreciate transparency and logic. They resist inconsistency. When condition and price align, buyers move forward. When they feel misaligned, buyers hesitate. And hesitation is the enemy of momentum. Now, if this has been helpful and you want more practical guidance on selling in Richmond, make sure you subscribe so you continue getting real-world insight just like this. Now let's recap. Not every repair adds value. Deal breakers are usually worth fixing. Cosmetic improvements often produce strong returns. Over-improving rarely pays dollar for dollar. Buyers overestimate repair costs. Leverage comes from alignment between condition and price. You either fix with purpose or price with strategy. If you're trying to decide which path makes the most sense for your home, DM me, fix or sell, and I'll walk you through it so you can make the right move with confidence. Because the goal is not to guess. The goal is to position your home to win.